Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bull Take Scouting Podcast. Unfortunately, Alex couldn't join me today, but we've got a special guest instead, future potential 2023 NFL draft prospect and current Utah offensive lineman Braeden Daniels. How you doing today, Braeden?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. It's nice to have you.
Just appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. We're gonna retrace your football journey pretty much. So going back to your roots, when did you start playing football, and what made you fall in love with the game?
I started playing football. I think I want to say like third grade. It was from my city, and we were called the Falcons, I believe.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was just a big body, and actually, I started playing flag football first before the tackle football. And I was a lineman and still like big body, but I don't know. I didn't really like fall in love with the game until like high school.
Yeah.
But I started playing like flag football and then eventually ended up playing like tackle football like around third grade, which is really my first team. And then after playing for the city, I played for an organization called The Truth, and it was like Deion Sanders organization. And I just played football over there with them for a while as well before I started playing football in middle school in seventh grade.
So high school is really when it got serious for you, right?
Yeah, really, really and truly, yeah. Because when I was in middle school, I broke my foot in seventh grade, so I couldn't play.
Mhm.
And then eighth grade was really my only year. And then high school, I decided I wanted to stick with football and go that route during high school.
Nice. So throughout your football career, do you have a favorite game or favorite memory that comes to mind?
Um, ooh,
Tough one.
yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like throughout my high school career,
Yeah.
I'd say playing Allen first round of
Mhm.
playoffs my senior year. That was really like a highlight. And then I guess I would say when we played Plano East my junior year of high school, I was on varsity. Uh, we were trying to like make a playoff run, and that was like the first team that we eliminated in the first round. But I just remember them having like some top prospect or something like that, and I was just trying to make a name for myself as well. And that was a game I had to turn it up a notch.
Yeah. Well, you ended up being one of those top prospects yourself. You had a lot of offers coming out, and you actually first committed to Illinois, and then you switched to Utah after going on an official visit there. So, what made
Yeah.
you choose Utah in the end?
It was really I want to feel like just like the brotherhood and like family, the coaching staff, that vibe that I got from them, and just the type of people that they are. Like at the end of the day, we're gonna like play physical football, and they like to work hard, and I like work. I've never been afraid of work, and that's just something that I thought went well with what I have, and I think it was a great choice for me.
Yeah, that's something we've heard from your former teammate Britton Covey is that really everyone seems to buy into the program. He mentioned how he could have been at another school in the Pac-12 like Washington State and seen double the targets, but he
Hmm.
didn't mind being in such a tight end heavy offense and seeing a little less targets than he would elsewhere because he got to be part of that program, part of that brotherhood, like you said, and win a lot of games.
No, for sure. And then also, it was, I like another reason I committed was like the business school that they had up here as well. I know
Mhm.
I wanted to get a degree in business, and then the coach that we had, like he was coaching like Garrett Bowles, and
Yeah.
you know, their whole offensive line went. They either got drafted or like they ended up in the league. And so like I really understood that like my coach knew what he was talking about. So it was something that I wanted to go. So somebody I wanted to go with,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So coming in, you actually redshirted your first year. So what went into making that decision, and how did it help you in the future? You ended up starting all the games the next year, so it definitely seemed like it was a good decision for you.
Yeah. I mean, like my year was the first year that we were able to do the 4 games and still redshirt. So I
Yeah.
was still got kind of lucky, and I was still able to play in some of the games, like towards the end after we were up or whatever. But I mean, I still got to travel with the team, which I thought was awesome. My freshman year, I'm learning as I go, and I thought it helped prepare me, for the next year. I'm already used to like traveling and having all those like different type of events and having to like manage my time and things like that. But I mean, I just really thought, my freshman year I could like gain weight and learn as much as possible and just, soak up all the information I could so I could play the next year, the following year.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to be a fast learner because part of your path at Utah has included a couple position switches. You started off at left guard and you moved to right tackle, and now you're switching to left tackle, is what reports are saying. So, how do you
Yeah.
end up switching positions? Not so easily, but with putting in the work and seeing that success. And how's that switch to left tackle going this offseason?
Just my coach really just harping that versatility and being versatile and being able to play multiple different positions is like really important at the next level. And if you want to play longer at the next level, then knowing multiple different positions is always going to help you. And I just really think it's football. And if I know what everyone is doing on the field, and I'm going to play faster, but it just comes with, film study, practice, actually knowing the plays and just knowing the offense and the ins and out of the offense and understanding the defenses and, making different calls and just different situations. But, just also just building the chemistry with the linemen and just playing next to, different people. It's always like, it's not easy, but I think that switch to left tackle, I think it's like, it's still playing football, like I said. And,
Yeah.
it's just going from right to left. And in high school, the offense that we ran, I actually had to play both tackles, and like our offense, we would flip tackles. So it's kind of like it's just breaking old habits and knocking the rust off.
Yeah. And so you're not only changing positions, you're kind of changing status on the O line too this season because there were a couple veteran departures from the O line, including Bamadeli, Olaseni, and Nick Ford. So now you're kind of the leader of an offensive line that has several underclassmen. Are you ready to take on that role?
I mean, like I said, the torch has been passed down. That's how Utah operates. It's like the brotherhood, like I said, and I just think that the O-line is gonna be ready to work, and I just think, I have a different vibe from the O-line this year than I have from previous years, and, I'm not the only person that's leading the O-line. We got, one of my closest friends, Paul Miley. He helps me, and we help each other, and we just hold each other accountable, and at the end of the day, we wanna achieve goals, like, winning the Joe Moore, winning the Pac-12, going for, as far as possible, and just really keeping our head down and working.
Yeah. Hey, so you mentioned winning the Pac-12, and that's something you guys managed to achieve, an incredible accomplishment. How was really that dream season of winning it for the first time in program history, going to the Rose Bowl? How was it all to see the hard work get realized at a team level?
I mean, it definitely like is really one of my most memorable moments in football, I would say, just because personally I've never won a championship like
Mhm.
at a high level. I would say like in middle school, high school, I never had an opportunity to win a championship or go to state championship, and just being able to be up there and like be one of the first teams to actually win the Pac-12 is just is legendary, and it's something that's in writing. It's going to be forever.
Yeah, absolutely. So now there are pretty high expectations for you guys after such a big year. Do you guys have any goals to follow up on this big season?
Definitely, just small goals, within like the offense, just taking care of the football really, and just really taking it one game at a time. We're going down to the swamp, our very first game,
Yep.
and we know it's going to be humid. We know it's going to be hot. We know the atmosphere is going to be crazy, but we're excited for that, and I think that we're going to be ready
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Let's
for
dive into
sure.
your tape now. What would you consider to be your biggest strengths on the football field?
Uh, I would say my physicality in the run game
Mhm.
and just some I would say like I need to work on my pass, but I'm not too bad at the passing game, but I do feel like I have a lot of things that I need to work on and that I have been working on, and just getting more knowledge of the game and just becoming a student of the game.
Yeah, your coach has actually praised your football intelligence numerous times, and I wanted to ask you this question because we hear that phrase a lot. Can you explain to our audience what he means when he says that you got a really high football intelligence?
Just like understanding, how our defenses ran,
Hmm.
their schemes, and it comes from film study and understanding like how different where different pressures come from, and just seeing the kind of the cheat codes and the I guess the keys to the castle of a defense, and then our offense. We run an NFL style offense, and we'll do whatever, and like our offense is kind of sophisticated, and it's like you have to be really really focused and like detailed. And I would just say like being able to know all five positions and then having to know all the calls, and then reading the defense and understanding how the defense is moving to what we're finna run is what
Hmm.
he means by that, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I mean, go on.
I would say it just comes from film study and just playing, having to play faster, and understanding, all right, this guy's going this way, so I gotta do this and take this step or make this call. But I would just say maybe that's what he means.
Yeah. Gotcha. And that, I mean, that versatility and that football intelligence will definitely be so highly valued by NFL scouts and will ease your transition when you end up getting to that stage of your career. And so now let's wrap up the interview with a few, fun and interesting questions that we like to ask all our prospects. Do you have an NFL role model or a couple NFL players that you like to model your game after?
Yeah. I would say somebody that I really used to watch in high school because I played tackle in high school was, Tyron Smith and
Uh,
Trent Williams. Trent Williams is really like one of my favorite tackles. And then, watching more and more film, the left tackle from the New Orleans Saints, number 72. I like watching him as well. But I tried to mirror my game after Trent Williams, but I think I've been like a fan of him since like the Washington Redskins and like all that stuff. But he's just a different breed, and there's not very many like him
yeah, he's a bad man, and he's still at the top level despite being at an age where a lot of guys start regressing.
for sure, definitely.
Who's the best player you've played against in your collegiate career thus far? I know it's a tough one, and offensive linemen don't often want to give that credit to the guys opposite from them. But is there a guy that sticks out to you?
Yeah, I would say it was 2019. I was playing left guard, and we were playing Washington in Seattle, and it was a guy named Levi, number 95. I
Yeah,
don't want to pronounce his last.
Levi
Yeah,
Wuzuriki.
yeah, he's a different player. He's a different breed. But
Yeah,
he like I remember he like jumped the snap count, and I was like all in the backfield, so I kind of like messed up the play and the pivot, like the puller. I knocked off the puller, and my coach was like yelling at me. And then like we got to the film, he was like, "Yeah, I mean, you got to get the job done." But I mean, he was definitely like a different breed. And
mhm.
then I would say like now, I would say number 49 from USC. He was
Yeah.
pretty good as well. He you can tell he'd be in the lab working.
Solid answer. So now, my last question for you is kind of an inspirational note that we like to end on. What is the best piece of advice that throughout your college or really your football journey throughout in general that you've received from anyone, be it a coach, a teammate, or a parent?
It's a good question. I've heard like a quote from one of our defensive coordinators. He I kind of like it, and somebody else, I think Terrell Burgess kind of said it already,
Yeah.
but he was like, say, receive more in value than you will in payment. And I just thought that was kind of like, after thinking about it, it makes sense, and don't always like look at the glory, and like really take in and really you know just really take in like college, and don't take the moments for granted, and just like live life, and because we're only going to be this age once or twice, and responsibilities and people are going to be serious. But I would just say receiving more in value than in payment, and just hustle and ambition, just hard work really for me.
Yeah, I love that advice and that perspective especially. I hope you enjoy every piece of your college career that's left and everything that's ahead of you. It's gonna be fun following you along, and I definitely wish you all the best, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Have a good one.
Yep.